Let's take a look at this problem. We want to divide as indicated and write the quotient in standard form. So we got 3 minus 9i over 5 minus 7i. If you have two items down below here and one of them has an I, then how you work this problem is you need to multiply the top and bottom by the conjugate of the bottom. So we're going to multiply by 5 plus 7i. Conjugate. First parts are the same, 5 and 5. Last parts are the same, 7i and 7i. But the sign in the middle is different. See how this is a minus and this is a plus. Now whatever you multiply by the bottom, by the denominator, you also have to multiply by the top, the numerator. So I'll multiply the top part by 5 plus 7i. So up on top, let me put those next to each other first. 3 minus 9i times 5 plus 7i. Nice part about conjugates is you don't have to actually multiply everything together. You just have to multiply your first parts and your last parts. So we'll take 5 times 5 and negative 7i times 7i. And up on top, 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 7i is 21i. Negative 9i times 5 is negative 45i. And negative 9i times 7i gives us negative 63i squared. Down in the bottom, 5 times 5 is 25. Negative 7i times 7i gives us negative 49i squared. Now I'm going to combine 21i minus 45i together. That gives us negative 24i. And for standard form, we can't have I squared. So all these I squareds we're going to replace with negative 1. Remember, I squared is always equal to negative 1. And I got 25 minus 49 times negative 1. So we got 15 minus 24i. Negative 63 times negative 1 gives us a positive 63. And down below here, negative 49 times negative 1 gives us a positive 49. Well, 15 plus 63 is 78. So I got 78 minus 24i over 25 plus 49 is 74. Now standard form says your real part should be separate from your imaginary part. So I'll put 78 over 74 minus 24 over 74 with an I to the side. Now these are both divisible by 2. 78 divided by 2 is 39. 74 divided by 2 is 37. Yeah, 37. Minus 24 divided by 2 is 12. 74 divided by 2 is 37. With an I to the side. And that's our answer. On some graphing calculators, you can find this on your calculator. Not all of them. So it's a little bit unreliable. The by hand works all the time. The trick to plugging this into your calculator, if it'll work on your calculator, is if you have more than a single number, single variable, single I, single anything on top or bottom, you have to put parentheses around that part when you plug in your calculator. So we'll put parentheses around top, parentheses around the bottom when we plug it in. Now let me show, I've already done this in my calculator and it doesn't work, but let me show it. Okay, so beginning parentheses, 3 minus 9, and then second decimal. Second decimal is what gives you the I. Closing parentheses divided by beginning parentheses 5 minus 7 second decimal, and then closing parentheses, and then enter. Now we get a decimal, and change any decimal to fraction. You do math, enter. And I get an error data type. Yours might work. Some T84s work, or perhaps even T83s, but not all of them. You could try to change each one of these individually. Like I could type in that entire number there, 1.054, 054, and do math, enter. And see, we get 39 over 37. Checks that. And then the other one, I'd have to do a second enter to bring up a previous entry. Let me do second enter again. And second enter one more time. Back to original problem. And do enter. And then if I right arrow over, looks like it's 0.324, 0.324, 0.324 forever. So 0.324, 324, 324, math, enter. Didn't change. It's interesting how one of them changed and the other one didn't. Maybe I didn't take it out to make decimal places. 0.324, 324, 324, 324, math, enter. 12 over 37. Now, you can see that it's kind of unreliable. You know, sometimes it may convert, sometimes it may not. So by hand is what I'd recommend most when you're working with division and complex numbers.